We solemnly remind the primary sponsors of these foreign mercenaries, notably President Emmanuel Macron of France, President Patrice Talon of Benin, and President Alassane Ouattara of the Ivory Coast. We have spent enough time listening to them back in the city of Bouaï. However, the time has finally come for the tables to turn, and now they must get ready to listen to us, I swear it.
Africa has been attacked before. But this time, Africa is answering back. Not with silence, not with apologies, not with submission, but with a roar. Tonight, the world is shaken as Abdourahamane Tiani, president of Niger, points a direct finger at France and its regional allies. Benin and Ivory Coast accusing them of a coordinated assault on Niger's most strategic gateway, Diori Hamani International Airport. And for the first time in modern African history, foreign aggression meets African resistance, backed, defended, and reinforced. This is not just a military story. This is a sovereignty story. This is a Pan-African awakening. According to Niger's military leadership, an external plot targeted the Diori Hamani airbase, the strategic heart of Niger's air defense and national security. This was not random. This was not accidental. This was calculated. President Tiani revealed that the threat involved foreign-backed forces operating through regional corridors, attempting to destabilize Niger from the shadows. And suddenly, the question Africa has whispered for decades became loud. Why is it always African sovereignty that triggers foreign panic? Because Niger made a decision to expel French troops, a decision to reject Western security control, a decision to say, "Our soil is not your chessboard." And that decision came with consequences. President Tiani did not speak like a man begging for peace. He spoke like a leader warning aggressors. Those who threaten Niger should be ready to hear us roar. This was not rhetoric. This was not bluff. This was a message to every power that believes Africa must always kneel quietly. For decades, African leaders were trained to lower their voices when Europe frowned, to soften their language when Paris called, to consult foreign embassies before defending their own people. But Niger chose a different path, and the world noticed. Reports now confirm that Russia assisted Niger's forces in defending the airbase. Let us be clear. This is not about replacing one master with another. This is about choice. For the first time, Niger chose its security partners, instead of having them imposed. For the first time, an African state said, "We decide who stands on our land." Russia did not arrive through colonial agreements. Russia did not impose language, currency, or governors. Russia was invited after France was expelled. That difference matters. This alliance reflects a broader Sahel shift, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger nations, saying no more to Western-backed security systems that delivered terrorism, instability, and humiliation. France says it S about stability. France says it S about democracy. France says it's about counterism. But Africans ask one question. Why was Africa never stable under French control? For decades, French bases multiplied, yet terrorism expanded. Resources flowed out. Poverty stayed behind. Now Niger has rejected foreign military dominance, reclaimed strategic assets, joined a multipolar world, and suddenly, pressure increases. Threats emerge. Borders become tools. Neighbors are whispered into confrontation. This is not new. It is the same old script. Punish any African nation that refuses obedience. African youth, listen carefully. This moment is bigger than Niger. This is about whether Africa will forever be a battlefield for others, a resource warehouse, a continent that must ask permission to breathe, or a continent that defends itself, a continent that chooses its partners, a continent that speaks without fear. Niger is showing that sovereignty is not free. It is defended. It is protected. It is paid for with courage. Pan-Africanism is no longer a poem. It is no longer a speech. It is policy. It is resistance. It is action. Niger has drawn a line, not against Africa, but against domination. President Tiani's warning was not only to France, Benin, or Ivory Coast, it was to the entire world. Africa is no longer silent. The roar has begun. And once a continent finds its voice, it never whispers again. Africa is watching. Africa is rising. Africa will defend itself.